How you guys doing? Let's talk about the two races today here at Atlanta. I think this will be a pretty fun day to watch races. In terms of building lineups, I haven't finished my Xfinity. I'll do that whenever I get done here. Actually, I haven't done all the Truck Series lines. For me personally, playing pretty light. Normally I do 20 lines, just doing 10 here. I can tell you right now. Here, I'll go ahead and put this on screen here. This one here. Um, so for me, this is the pull I'm using for Truck Series. Chris Wright to Keith McGee. That's literally it. Now I understand that if you are looking at this race in terms of who can honestly win this race, who will most likely be optimal, Zane Smith has a really good chance of staying up there and leading the majority of the race. Matt Benedetto, Stuart Friesen, John Nemechek, Haley Deegan, Brett Holmes. Those would be the first contenders that I would necessarily go for. I would not be shocked if you can make lines that play a good majority of the people in the top 20. Where I'm at, the fact that we are, let me see real fast. Make sure this is streaming. Is it going through? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Where I'm at in terms of just how I think the race is going to play out and stuff. I don't think a majority of people are going to be building this way. Now, the contest is pretty small, only 5,000 people. I'm probably going too aggressive on that, but yet again, that's just how I normally always play. The fact that we will most likely not see green flag pit stops in the Truck Series race. If we do, God be with these drivers, because that's going to be a mess. I think this race, and you got to, at least in my opinion, when we look back at the race last year, it was the first race here of anybody on track in a competition setting. I mean, it wasn't like a 1.5. It wasn't necessarily like Talladega. Trucks kind of got spread out. They didn't necessarily wreck towards the end of the race. But like I'm gonna lean into people being dumb, people wrecking, people making mistakes on pit lane. Like it truly, if you make a mistake on pit lane, you're gonna go. Not only are you gonna make a mistake and you're like stuck behind the field and stuff, but like if you got a pit under green, you're going like 5 laps down. If there's any issue in the pit stop, under green you're gonna go like 2 to 3 laps down in general. So that's a huge thing there. What happens if somebody just speeds entering pit lane or entering the pits on the back straightaway? Like you can be speeding in sector 1 back there, and your race is over. There's so many stupid things here that can just happen, in my opinion, that I'm just hesitant on playing, quote unquote good drivers. We got about an hour and 18 minutes until this slate goes live. But man, I mean, this is just where I'm at here. Now, in terms of color coordination, orange is certainly, in my opinion, guys that we need to be very concerned about. AO being yellow, just better than Keith McGee, honestly, and Mason Massey, but everybody else in green, I'm perfectly fine. I love Josh Reaume in the AM Racing. The fact that he's actually in a good car, I'm hoping he'll ride. I'm hoping that he stays smart. But the fact that look, honestly, Caden in a really good car, Bailey Curry, really good car. Mason, really good car. Clearly, Haley Deegan, Brett Holmes are going to have speed in general. Ryan Varney, like I'm very, very happy to either at the worst get in an on point or not on point in a young motorsports machine for these drivers, and at the very best, getting on point, getting Nice, getting AM Racing. I really, really like these guys in green here. I will, however, probably be underweight on Haley Deegan and Brett Holmes, just because I think that's where a lot of the chalk is going to come from. But like realistically, a lot of lines that I would see being optimal today, just starting with John Nemechek. I think Nemechek should probably be the highest owned driver. Probably Haley Deegan. I would probably lean Brett Moffitt, somebody else in this green area, and then as we're moving up here, Dean Thompson, honestly, can be viable to be optimal. I mean, most people can be viable to be optimal in this race, but like realistically speaking, people like Dean Thompson, even people like Chase Purdy, Matt Benedetto, like I think ownership is honestly going to be pretty spread out in this race. So I would just rather focus on people in the back of the field. That's just where I'm at here, and we're going to be live for right around 20 minutes. Thank you very much, Pat, for the $20 super chat. I really do appreciate it. I assume that you had a good week either last weekend or you like the content, things of that nature. Thank you very much for just being here supporting me, and thank you for letting me be live and help you guys out in any form or fashion. You didn't even leave a comment or anything. You just dropped $20 and wandered off. So thank you very much, Pat. I do appreciate it. What do you think about Deegan starting 22nd? This track seems to suit a lot of her strengths well. Last year she caught on fire, so I'm not entirely sure you are. I'm not exact. Suited, I think she has a lot of strengths everywhere, but I mean, Hailie Deegan should be a fantastic play. Like I said, I want to make sure I'm a little underweight on the field. I'll probably have 30%. I'm only doing 10 lines. In my mind, there's really no reason she should be under 30%. Between like the whole entire field. Like she should easily probably be the third or second highest owned driver. It should be Nemechek. It should honestly be Hailie Deegan probably as the second or third highest owned driver. If that's not the case, a lot of people are not approaching this the right way. But look, if this race goes green, Thor Motorsport's going to have a fantastic car. You know, she's going to have the speed to get to the top 15. If this race becomes a wreck fest, and as long as she's not in it, she's going to probably finish top 20. Like, there's very little, like, what Hailie has to wreck out of this race to not outscore a majority of the drivers in this race. So, Hailie Deegan should be a fantastic play today. I'm just going to be overweight on people like Bailey Curry, people like Josh Ream, Honey, all like even Vargas. Some bitch hasn't even made a race this year. I'm going to be extremely furious if he goes out there and races. I would just want to finish the race, Ryan. So, let's do that. 57 of you guys here. I do appreciate you guys being here and just watching and just being part of the show and everything like that. When we look at it, when we look at the Xfinity series, I haven't done the same thing here. I'm not as I said, I haven't made Xfinity series lines yet. I need to go ahead and do that. I need to get that done. I've kind of just been pushing off. I've been dealing with other stuff today. Perkins, I like Perkins and Golding a lot right now. Gase and Smithley, I'm a big fan of. Even Patrick. I mean, I can tell you right now, these five right here are going to probably be the majority of my lines because Sage Karam, Jeffrey Earnhardt should have a good car. Kaz Grella should have a good car. So I would personally just have most of my ownership related to these guys. I'll probably go up to Poole, and even Joe Graff Jr., Kyle Sieg starting 26. This will probably be the pool from 26 to 37, just how it is. That's really just how it is, man. Like, everybody knows how I approach these races. Everybody understands where I'm coming from, how I build lines, the situation and races that I'm building for and towards. So that's that, man. I'm mainly just here to goof around for about 30 minutes and have fun with you guys. We've been live for around 6. I mean, we can cut it shorter. I mean, it's a plate race. Most people understand how to play this stuff. In terms of guys in this series fighting to be optimal, I would not be shocked if we see Haley, Allgaier, probably Brandon Jones. I would start, if you're not like me and you're not a lunatic, these three drivers should probably be your priority. Probably combine them with two of these guys back here. Like, if you just go randomly here, like, this is the type of build that I would imagine would end up scoring well. Like, just any combination of these guys back here with Allgaier, Haley, and Brandon Jones should be a fantastic start for you. And I'll probably at least have two of those lines because Haley, Allgaier, Jones have a really high chance of finishing top 10 and scoring well today in this race. I imagine that's where the most amount of ownership is going to go. And look, there's not a lot of arguments to be made to go against that stuff. Xfinity is a lot more, not a lot more viable, but they have a much higher risk of having to pit under green. So I think that's a big equalizer that could easily remove anybody from the field if you make a mistake in pit lane. Even if a fucking caution comes out while you're on pit lane, you're going to be 2 to 3 laps down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're not getting the wave around. This is almost worse than a short track, than pitting under green on a short track. You're going to go multiple laps down if you have to pit. It is very unfortunate. What's going on, Michael? Happy to have you here. Raja Caruth and Lane Riggs. So Lane Riggs, fantastic. Both of these are fantastic place or starting position pivots off of Nemechek. I'd imagine that Chris Wright, Spencer Boyd, and Mason Massey have far less ownership than these fellers, but Lane Riggs is going to compete to finish top 15 all day. Raja Caruth is going to argue to be a top 15 driver all day. Raja is a guy that I never get right. He either wrecks or performs way higher than expectation for me. but they're both $8,000 drivers. They're both very easy to fit in a line with Haley Deegan, Brett Holmes. Like I am perfectly fine if you get to any of those guys. I just personally had the cutoff at 25, just for me, just because I think we're gonna just have low ownership in this area compared to what it probably should be. But that's where I'm at there. He was good archer and has good equipment. Yeah, I mean, I look, Rajah isn't a bad driver. It just, is he going to overextend himself? When we look at last year, this is a situation to where, Noah Gragson in the Cup Series, good driver, tons of talent, just made a mistake, overcorrected, put himself on the wall, head first into the wall at turn 2. Those are always risks that I would associate with people like Rajah Caruth in a situation where they are going to have a fantastically fast car and going to be up there. It just depends on what they can do and if he cannot, wreck himself or put himself in a bad situation. To be honest, I would probably enjoy playing more. Let's see. The Truck Series race, that contest still has quite a few spots left. I know the $1 filled up, but I would honestly play more in the Truck Series today than the Xfinity Series. If you're concerned about one of these races being stupid or not stupid, I would just lean to playing more of the Truck Series because, as I said, the Xfinity Series is going to have a ton of Allgaier, Haley, and Jones lineups competing to be optimal, and you honestly need these drivers to wreck out for these guys in the back to score well. That's just how that is. So I'll probably, I got 10 lines. I might do just 8 in the Xfinity Series. I might do that. Maybe 6. I don't know. Like, the Xfinity Series is less appealing to me just because these guys are only going to work in a wreckfest. That's just how I want to approach it. I don't want to chase the previous optimal lineups. I don't want to necessarily trying to chase the lap leader. These 3 guys are going to be heavily owned. It's just, do I really want to fight with this core of 3 drivers? Not really. That's just kind of where I'm at. Yeah, I think you should absolutely just fade ownership in these races here. Earnhardt and Kaz Grala gonna have good cars, good cars in terms of speed, good track history at plate races. If you're looking at all those together, this is a place where you absolutely play ownership. So if you are considering playing Joe Graf, or if you're considering playing Kaz Grala, just play Joe Graf Jr. or Brennan Poole. If you're considering playing Jeffrey Earnhardt, honest to Christ, just play Sage or Patrick. Like, that's just how it is. And Patrick's going to have much less ownership. So it's literally just an ownership game today, man. That's really all it is. That's really all we're chasing. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, man. I don't know. Today is a very mundane, just I'm playing my approach. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's 10 lines in the 10, 4, and 1, $150 for each race. That's, if we end up burning that, that's just how it goes. Cup Series tomorrow. I haven't bothered watching qualifying. I'll watch that later. I'll see the grid later. I'll get all that stuff uploaded probably late tonight. I gotta head out. And I'm probably not going to watch majority of these 2 races. I will check them out post race and then check them out later and stuff. But that's just kind of where I'm at today. But yeah, Pat. Oh, thank you for dropping a comment. I felt bad that you just left the super chat and didn't really say anything else. But yeah, I think that's really where I'm at, guys. I hope we get a wreck. Hope we get some big wrecks. Hopefully, I can look at the highlight reel later and see some cars upside down or in the catch fence or something. But man, that's really where I'm at. Let me go ahead and look through. If I missed anything, I missed any news. I do want to talk one last time about this. Like I can't emphasize enough how much I like. Let's take out these guys. Let's just block these people out. The drivers in green here, Chris Wright, okay, pretty risky. Chris Wright is pretty dog shit, to be honest. But these drivers here love their equipment. I love the situations they're in. I love where they're starting. I absolutely love these 6 guys in green. I'll probably play 5 of them and then just keep mixing and matching in some of the yellows and oranges. But this is just how I want to approach it, man. I'd love the Truck Series race far more than the Xfinity Series race today. And mainly just due to, like, we can realistically project where ownership is going to go here. Nemechek should carry a lot of ownership. I would argue, Haley Deegan, Brett Holmes and stuff. Roger will probably carry some, and then it goes to the teams here, Friesen, Ankrum, Dean Thompson, even Jack Wood to an extent. They'll carry ownership based on the cars that they're in. But, like, everybody else is going to be pretty low owned to where, Xfinity is just kind of not as fun. It's not as fun, but I mean, it's fucking, like I said, it's these three guys. And to be honest with you, if you're playing these three guys here, you absolutely should be getting into low-owned, single-digit ownership plays. Like, if you're playing Haley Deegan, or if you're playing Justin Haley, Allgaier, Brandon Jones, you should have Patrick, Joey Gaze in that line. Or, anybody back here that's going to be lower-owned, because this will be a super, super high-owned core. So just keep that in mind. Let's see what else. And it's plate race. We're kind of just having fun. F1 tomorrow. I mean, I'm sure we can talk about it. Let me look real fast. I don't know, man. Let's see. F1 starts. Yeah, it starts at noon, so we can talk about that with the Cup Series if you want. And I'm not even sure how many lineups I'm going to do for the Cup Series tomorrow. It really depends on how bad Atlanta wants to just take all my money today. Like, if I get creamed, I'm gonna play very little tomorrow. But man, I think this is mainly it, guys. Past that, let's like I said, let's hope for Rex. Let's hope for just entertaining racing throughout the day. Let's hope for just like actually cashing and stuff. I think lastly, my point earlier this week to where I think a lot of people will try and chase optimal lineups, try and chase lap leaders, try and chase guys are going to be up front all day. All it takes is those guys to wreck late in the race, and low-owned lineups or low accumulative ownership lineups have a real chance in this race, in both these races. And I would just rather lean to a situation where it just takes one idiot making a mistake for the win late in the race versus trying to hold on and nail lap leaders and guys who are going to, just compete for the win all day and not wreck out. I would just rather lean to people being wrecked out. Nemechek, Friesen, Rhodes, Deegan, Vargas, Honeycutt. Love it. Love it. Run that bitch, man. Run it. Run that in there, Michael. I think that's a fantastic line. Last one, would you lean Vargas or Curry? I would lean Bailey Curry. That's where I would go. But both are very, very much in play. I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and let you guys off today. We are, we're 20 minutes in, kind of just repeating the same thing. I know you guys got you guys want to hang out with your family. You guys want to do things in general. I won't keep it too long. Thank you very much for being here. Always supporting me, supporting the channel, supporting the Patreon if you are doing that. If not, thank you for just hanging out and watching the videos. And I will see you guys in the live show tomorrow. Best of luck today, and let's hope that they absolutely decide to destroy cars, wreck people, and just act entirely way more stupid than they should at this race. And I'll see you guys later.